Hello everyone, do you know what new games will be released in 2023? If not, I will tell you now. This channel's facts are facts, make hot tea, take cookies, and let's go! Now at the beginning of the new year 2023, it's time to talk about the most anticipated games of this year. The first of the 5 anticipated games this year is Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2 is a unique blend of horror and large-scale zombie killing spanning an epic adventure. Dead Island 2 was announced back in 2014, a trailer in which a typical rich man from Los Angeles it turns out to be in the center of a zombie pandemic. Then everyone liked it, but after that the studio had problems with development and as a result their release was postponed for 8 years. Game number 2 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This is a continuation of successful Fallen Order game. Starring Cal Kestis will return, familiar to many from the series Shameless Cameron Monaghan. Events will unfold during the period when the Jedi were killed during Order 66, and the survivors were forced to hide throughout the galaxy. In the first game, Cal he began his journey to resist the Empire, but what awaits us this time is still a mystery. The third Starfield game. Starfield is the first game universe created in the last 25 years by Bethesda Game Studios, the authors of the Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim and Fallout 4. In this innovative role-playing game you have to go to the stars to uncover the secret of humanity. The action of Starfield takes place in a part of the Milky Way called Master Systems. The settled system extends about 50 light years from our solar system. There was a war between the largest fraction of the United Colonies and the Commonwealth of Three Stars. This bloody conflict was called the Colonial War. The parties managed to conclude a truce which still lasts. Since then, the territory of the development system has been divided between these two groups. As in other Bethesda games, the player will be able to join different fractions while going through the plot of working against them. Of course, all fractions will have their own quest chains, but the main character will be a member of the Constellation, the last group of space explorers who solve the mysteries of the humanity in space. The fourth game for robot lovers, Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. The development of the game is led by From Software veteran Masaru Yamamura, who previously served as the lead game designer of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Armored Core 6, like the previous games in the series, will be a third-person action game in which players will be able to control a mecha robot. Developers pay great attention to the possibilities of customization for the robot. Players will be able to choose different types of weapon, types of legs, generators, and so on. This all affects the robot itself, and it's not just about damage or armor, but also about the behavior of the mech in fight. The fifth game is another Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed Mirage is an action game set in Baghdad in 861. 100 years before the founding of the Order of Assassins and 300 years before the events of the first Assassin's Creed. The mentor of the hero and his guide for the world of assassins will be Roshan, a 50-year-old woman. She spent many years in Persian slavery. Roshan helps the young Basim, who is stormed by visions, escape from Baghdad to the Almut fortress still under construction and develop the unique abilities hidden in the young man. Fragments, the action of which takes place in the 21st century, will be not in the game, only small moments at the beginning and ending, referring to the modern storyline. Game number 6 is suitable for those who love the Harry Potter universe. In Hogwarts Legacy you will travel to the end of the 19th century Great Britain. The main character, a guy or a girl, depending on your choice, barely survives in a mysterious incident. A teenager receives magical abilities and then an invitation to Hogwarts. Meanwhile, an uprising is brewing in the magical world. The Goblin Ranrock, along with the Dark Magician Victor Rookwood, plan to take over the world. The main character and his allies will have to deal with the enemies. And in 7th place we have Marvel's Spider-Man 2nd. The third part of Spider-Man from Insomniac will allow you to play as Peter Parker and Miles Morales. From the teaser it became clear that the main villains will be Venom and Kraven the Hunter, but probably you will have to fight not only with them. The mechanics and skills of the spiders are likely to remain the same, but special attention will be paid to the interaction of Miles and Peter. The 8th grade from our top, a virtual world, Final Fantasy XVI. The plot of this game is in the fantasy world of Valistia. There are magical giants icons. They are called by dominance people to whom this ability has been inherited. The main character is Clive Rosefield, the eldest heir of the ruler of the Rosary State and part-time bodyguard of his young brother, powerful Dominant. Together they saved the 6 kingdoms of Valistia from a mysterious pestilence. The 9th game of our top, Alan Wake 2nd. From the first seconds of a small but very atmospheric video shown a year ago, fans of Alan Wake realized that Remedy was preparing a sequel. It was only necessary to hear the familiar voice of Martin Pohetta, who voiced the hero both in the original game and in the sequel. And then to see the protagonist himself, whose appearance was again presented by Lka Willy. The developers don't even name the approximate release date of the horror, but this year they confirmed that the plans remains unchanged. Alan Wake 2nd should be released in 2023. You will be able to learn the new history of Alan Wake on PC5, Xbox Series and PC. Remedy has yet to reveal the details of the game, about which we still know very little, but at least her script is quite impressive. And the last, 10th game of our top, The Legend of Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom. Did anyone have any doubts that after the triumph of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nintendo would not give the go-ahead to create a sequel? The game, which promises to be darker and more mature than its predecessor, didn't have a subtitle for a long time. It was simply called the sequel to Breath of the Wild. After the announcement in 2019, it was clear that it was not worth waiting for the adventure to be released soon, and yet fans of Zelda kept finding hints of a possible release almost any minute on. One way or another, but Nintendo named the name of the game and its release data only this fall. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will appear on May 14 only on Switch. If Link's new adventures offer gameplay no less exciting than in the original and at the same time tell a more natural story, they will surely find a response in the hearts of millions of players again. That's the end of our top of games. Be active if you like this format. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe to the channel, and see you soon!